Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to be talking about a subject that I have covered from just about every possible angle and ripped it apart from just about every possible angle. But I'm going to cover it again because it keeps coming up. That being this idea of hell. That if you don't believe, as the Christian will try to put forward, that when you die you're going to have this hell bullshit. One thing that was mentioned to me, and I could see a lot of problems with it just from the outset of it, was this idea of people on their deathbed and having this idea of being on fire or whatnot and being hostile to religion and Jesus and all of that, and as if this is somehow proof that the person goes to this hell bullshit. I had pointed out fire is a chemical reaction of physical elements which is maintained by physical oxygen. But the religious person I was dealing with they straight up ignore science, reality, fact, because it doesn't fit their scare tactics. That's just the bottom line. What this is it is a way to try and intimidate others into thinking like you. Personally, as far as a hell type of myth or story, the Bible's version is very childish. It is all centered around physical pain and physical pleasure. One that is more intellectual and that would be not so much possible, but it's more believable, is from the TV show Lucifer. The idea of hell put forward in that TV show. That was one that I would have a harder time debunking, because the idea of it being not that a devil is torturing you, but you're torturing yourself because of the things you have done. That you keep reliving the same screw up that you did over and over and over again. Basically torturing yourself with your own guilt. It's all well and good, and that would, like I've said, that would be harder to debunk, because that is all in your head. And if there would be some kind of afterlife, the thoughts that you would have would definitely have to follow you. Otherwise, you're not the same person. But that's not what the religious try to put forward. They want to try and act as if you are this physical body in this physical fire, physically burning forever. This is simply impossible. Number one, fire is a chemical reaction of physical elements which is maintained by physical oxygen. It all requires physical existence. The laws of physics as we know them, as they are in our world, in our universe. If you have a higher dimension, some kind of ethereal or other dimensional being, the laws of physics simply wouldn't apply in that dimension. There's no reason to think that they would. There's no reason to think that there would be oxygen. Because if you're some kind of energy being, you would have no need for oxygen. Because we need oxygen because that is how we live. Without oxygen, we would all suffocate. Our physical body could not survive without oxygen. Even animals that live in the water, they require oxygen. Their gills get the oxygen molecules from the water. They're still taking in oxygen. The thing is, if there would be some kind of spiritual existence, it wouldn't require oxygen, and if you don't have oxygen, you can't have fire. Not to mention, there is no reason to think if there would be an energy body or a spiritual body, which irks me because nobody that buys into this shit can define the word spiritual. They want to try and go to their stupid Bible as if that proves anything, but it doesn't. The thing is, when you go to the Bible and you look at what is there, the Bible terms things in physical ways. But this person tried saying that they know they're right because they have this Holy Spirit in them. There is no Holy Spirit. That is a concept that was made up by Christianity, or the Jesus figure, if you buy into the Jesus actually existing. I'm on the fence with that. I'm not sure. Because we have no historical evidence supporting the existence of this Jesus. It's possible that it was Apollonius of Tyana, who was Greek, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. This person tried acting like this is written here, so that somehow proves that that is real, that he had said, well, you can read it for yourself. If you want to play that game with me, I can play that game of, it is written right here, you can read it for yourself, that makes it true. Really? You want to play that game? Okay, fine. There is the idea that all you need is faith. Matthew 16:27, for the Son of Man shall come in his glory of his fathers with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to their works. You can read it right here. The words are right there on the page, undeniably. Your faith doesn't mean shit. If you want to try and say you're a true Christian because you don't go by your works, then you're not going by Jesus. What you're going by, actually, is Paul. You're not a follower of Jesus. You're a follower of Paul. Paul was the one that put forward this idea that all that matters is faith. Not Jesus, Paul. Because that is actually in the book of Acts. Let me pull this up quick. Where I think it's Acts, that it's not about faith. It's not about works, lest anyone should boast, but it's about faith. Any works. Just New Testament. Because Paul was very big on not going, oh, it's actually Romans. Romans 3:27, where is boasting then? It is excluded. By what law? Of works? Nay, but by the law of faith. There is no law of faith. But the words are right there on the page. Paul pisses all over this aspect of works, never mind that Jesus had said in Matthew 16:27 that he will reward every man according to their works. So you have a clear contradiction between the words of Jesus, which were right there on the page where you could read them, the same logic that was used with 1 John. The words are right there. You can see it for yourself. That proves it. Well, with Jesus in Matthew 16, the words are right there on the page. You can see it for yourself. That proves it's true. If you're going to play this game, you're going to lose. Because I can use that same type of logic to show where this true Christian bullshit, which is a true Scotsman fallacy, is wrong. But what this also shows is that their God is not unconditionally loving. They don't understand what the term of unconditional means. They want to try and act as if it's all about love and so forth with their God. No, it's not. Unconditional, positive regard, a situation in which the acceptance and love one receives from a significant other is not qualified. Conditional, a situation in which the acceptance and love one receives from a significant other is contingent upon one's behavior. Conditional is what Christianity is. The Christian idea of God and love is not unconditional love, it is conditional love. The ex that I lost, I loved her unconditionally. She didn't have to do a damned thing to get my love or deserve my love. The same with the cats that I had. I loved them unconditionally. They didn't have to do a fucking thing. Their existence was enough. There is nothing unconditional about Christianity. Christianity is 100% about control. It is no different than Vladimir Putin wanting to have his foot on someone's neck and controlling them. That is what Christianity is. And the reason somebody can have massive disdain for Christianity is because of the crap that it is advocating. The idea that you have to think like they want, or you're going to be tortured, burning forever, because you didn't think what you were told. This is sadistic, or you could even say satanic. I found this and I thought it was rather funny, that the Lord of the Bible is Satan. And they make an interesting case for that, using various places in the Bible that the words are right there. You can read it for yourself. That proves it's true. Remember, that's the game we're playing. Ezekiel 14:9. When the prophet shall err and speak a word, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet. Then there is 2 Thessalonians 2:11. For this calls God, they put in parentheses Satan. It actually says, shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. This is the idea that Satan is God, or that the God of the Bible is Satan. Here's another. Hi, I am your Lord Satan. My friends know me as Yahweh and Allah. I will see you soon. 1 Chronicles 21:1. Satan stood up against Israel and incited David to count the people of Israel. 2 Samuel 24:1. Again, the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, go and count the people of Israel and Judah. Who incited this David to do this census? Two different places in the Bible. You can read it for yourself. The words are right there on the page. That proves it's true. The only conclusion one can come to is that Satan and this Yahweh are the same being. Because you have two different names attributed to the same action. Because this census didn't just happen once, or it didn't happen multiple times. It was this once that was being talked about. So, which is it? If you want to play the game, that the words are right there on the page, you can read it for yourself. That makes it true. This is a very dangerous game to play, especially with somebody like me that knows the fucking Bible. I don't play around. I don't fuck around. When you want to try and use this shit to prove what you're saying, I can use it and use the same logic to show you that Jesus is not God. Numbers 23. There are so many different places that I can go to, but here's another one. The words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and he shall not do it? Or hath he spoken, and it shall not make it good? But there is another, the first place, actually, where the phrase or the term "no God" appears, is spoken, supposedly, by the God of the Bible. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now, I, even I, am he. There is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. If there would be a Trinity, if there would be this 3-in-1 bullshit, why is there no man? Why is this here? That there is no God with me? Christians want to try and rip out the Old Testament and ignore things like this, where I can say, like he did, the words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. This is a very dangerous game to play with me, because I can show you where you are absolutely wrong, even going by your own logic. This is just the tip of the iceberg in regard to showing where what is in the Bible that is put forward by Christianity does not fit what is in the Bible and believed by Jews. I've interviewed an expert in Judaism, as those that have followed my channel very well know. I also find it interesting, and it is actually something that has disgusted me in many ways, with different videos that I've done and posted on BitChute and so forth, the anti-Semitic crap that I have seen of Christians or the religious having this anti-Semitic attitude towards Jews. I don't get it. I don't understand how people that want to try and claim to be following some enlightened path can be embracing a anti-Semitic, hate-based mindset. I don't understand that. I don't see where those two can jive. But be that as it may, I have no ill feelings for Jews. I actually enjoyed the conversations I've had with Mark Powers, and I learned a lot from him. The thing is, you can't use it's written in this place, so that makes it true. The Bible has been rewritten over and over and over and over again. It has been changed. Copies of translations of copies. The church changing what is there to fit their dogma. You can't just use the Bible as if that proves anything. It doesn't. Just because words are on a page, I can play that game. And as I showed you guys, if you play that game with me, you will lose. Because I can show where the words are on the page. That proves it's true. And that rips apart this idea of a 3-in-1, because the God had said there's no God with me. The words are on the page. You can see it for yourself. That makes it true. You cannot have a different standard for your claim and then for mine. No. That we ain't playing this. If the God would exist, and I did another video where I had said, if I would see a God when I die, the first thing I would expect that it would do would be distance itself from the Bible. That it wouldn't want to claim the aspects of the Bible. Because if it wants to go by the Bible, I can crucify Jesus again. And even show where someone being crucified, that they were basically rejected by the God. And that that he was accursed of God type of thing. And the idea of Jesus being innocent, absolutely not. Part of the dietary laws that are in the Old Testament, and it's actually part of not only the 10 Commandments, which apply to Jews, but also the 7 laws of Noah, which supposedly apply to everybody. One law that is in both is do not drink blood. The dietary laws that are mentioned in Leviticus chapter 11, where Christians try and cherry pick and only focus on where it says the life of the spirit or whatnot is in the blood. That if you actually read the subject in context, what becomes obvious is that what it is saying is do not drink blood. But Jesus turned around in the book of John, chapter 6, to say, unless you drink the blood of the Son of Man and eat his flesh, you have no life in you. Jesus is advocating for drinking blood, something that is expressly forbidden of Jews and non-Jews. So, Jesus sinned, point blank. that anyone that drinks blood according to the dietary laws is to be cut off. You cannot have this idea of Jesus being perfect. Not to mention, there is the aspect in the Old Testament that no one can pay for the sins of another. It is something, I can show this in multiple ways. One that is a direct conflict with a claim Jesus made that he came to give his life as a ransom for many, and that you could do the words are right there on the page. You can see it for yourself. Yes, you can also see for yourself. None of them can by any means redeem his brother nor give God a ransom for him. The words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. If you look at it in the Jewish Bible, in the Jewish Bible, it is Psalms 49, verse 8. But it's saying the same thing. No man can by any means redeem his brother nor give God a ransom for him. The thing is, the words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. This is a very dangerous game to play when you're talking to somebody that actually knows the fucking Bible. I don't believe it, but I know it. I've done far too much research into this to fall for the word games that people want to try and pull. The truth of the matter is, there is also Proverbs 17:15. He that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, or the righteous. Well, this is the Jewish version, so it's not exactly how the King James put it, but he that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the righteous, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. The words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. Both are an abomination. This idea that you are wicked and that you need this Jesus to pay for sin for you because you can't do it yourself. Never mind, I can rip that apart too. But the words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. But when you look at it in the King James Version, this is what I had memorized. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to the Lord. Whether you're going by the Jewish version or the King James Version, it's saying the same thing. The words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. The idea of salvation is an abomination to the Lord. Because I can also show, Christians love to quote Ezekiel 18:20. But they only mention, even though the whole verse is right there, they only want to read those 7 words. They stop there. That's all they want to see. Because they don't want to look at the rest of Ezekiel 18:20. And they certainly don't want to look at the next verse. They don't give a damn about the next verse. That if there would be a plan to have a Jesus come along and pay for things for you, this would be the perfect place to say, oh yeah, I'm going to have a bastard kid of mine show up. He's going to die and pay for everything you did. So it doesn't matter how you treat people. You can be as nasty and wicked as you want. Just think what he tells you and everything you do, all the harm you cause, that'll just be washed away and not mentioned. I'll torture those that don't think like me. Even if you torture them, hey, doesn't matter because I'm going to torture them anyway because they don't think the right thing. It's horse shit. It's evil. It makes me think, maybe, going by this type of mindset, maybe this, the Lord is Satan type of thing, would be accurate. Because that seems to be far more, if you're going to try and pitch this idea of Satan being the evil one, and you're wanting to put forward this idea of you have to think what you're told or else, only something that is evil would operate under that mindset, as well as the idea that what you do doesn't matter so long as you believe or claim to believe that someone died, as if that takes away what you did. Never mind the fact that the raped woman remains raped, the molested child remains molested, the murdered person remains dead. Your belief in a Jesus cannot change or undo the harm you have caused. So why the fuck should you get a pass on your behavior? This is evil. I don't give a damn if something is written in a book. That doesn't excuse anything. And the aspect of why would a person on their deathbed potentially have this idea of a hell and so forth? Because of the mindset that has been pushed by Christians. Even if somebody like myself, who I was born into a Christian family and I was raised in this shit, but even somebody that their whole life they've been an atheist, they're still in a world where these ideas are put forward, where you have people that are spouting this fear tactic message and believe or burn type of mindset, that even though the person doesn't actually believe it, when they're on their deathbed, there could be fears of that would come into their mind because their body is shutting down, and that they would be scared of this, the aspect of dying. But the thing is, that doesn't make those fears valid, or that the ideas would be true. No. Simply not. Just because somebody has had fears conditioned into them by society does not make those fears valid. This is where you have to educate yourself on just how wrong the notion of hell is. Because if you're going to go by the Old Testament, you know, this shit, the word hell means the grave. The idea of a place of burning that was done in Jeremiah 32:35, and it is one where the God, supposedly, got pissed off at people burning children in fire. And they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of the son of Hinnom, to cause their sons and daughters to pass through the fire unto Moloch, which I commanded them not. Neither came it into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. The words are right there on the page. You can read it for yourself. That makes it true. This rips the legs off of Jesus. If you're going to try and claim that because the words are written on the page, you can read it for yourself, that makes it true. your entire concept falls to pieces. There are so many ways that I can rip apart Christianity using the Bible as a weapon. This is why when I was on Snapvine before, which was just audio blogs, and that was before YouTube, Christians didn't like me. Because I would point out, and I would use their Bible, quoting it like I do here. And I had some ask me, you don't believe the Bible, so why do you quote it? And I had said, because you guys do. And I'm pointing out what is actually there. They didn't like the aspect of an atheist that would point to and look at their Bible. Because the Christians want to be able to distort it and take it and say, well, that's what's written, but it really means this. No, you can't do that. Then you're trying to rewrite this shit. And you're not going by the words that are on the page that you can read it for yourself. It's right there. That makes it true. No, you're wanting to rewrite it and distort it to being how you want. Which there is also a reference in the book of Revelation of what happens to those that change the Bible. But these Christians don't want to read that. They'll ignore that thread of, if you add to the Bible, the God will add the plagues that are mentioned in this book. Or that if you take away, it'll take away your name from the book of life. They don't want to look at that. Because it doesn't fit their do as I say or I'll hurt you mindset. It is something they want to try and act like it's all about some believe or burn. But the truth of the matter is, if there is an afterlife, if there is anything beyond this physical, then it wouldn't be bound by the physical pain and pleasure that we could have here. I could also point out, if there is a God, it would know just how much I am against everything in the Bible. So why would it send someone to me to help me out when I was at my lowest point? Why would it do that? When, according to the Bible and that bullshit, I'm damned. I don't think the right thing, so fuck me. Whatever, if there is something higher, it didn't give a damn about my disbelief in it or any of that. And it would know someone like me. I don't deal well with threats. You want to try and bully me? We're going to dance. I'm not going to roll over when somebody wants to try and use tactics of a bully or a mob boss mentality. Boy, that's an awfully nice life you have. I'd hate to see you burn in hell. That's mob boss thinking. If your idea of a God and an afterlife is mob boss type of thing, don't try telling me how you're moral or how you're a good person. No, you're a mob type in how you're thinking. There is no love. But I could go off on this, as I have now for about 40 minutes, but I could go off on this for hours, pointing out and ripping apart all of the ideas in Christianity. Because the truth of the matter is, it is all about, well, I'll use that. It's all about conditional. love, not unconditional. Unconditional, there are no conditions. That's the un part, Christians. The Bible, Jesus, the shit that you want to try and tout, it's all conditional. You have to meet the condition. Unconditional means it doesn't matter what you think or what you do. That the love would be there regardless. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Talk to you later, people.